sharply run route. Again, zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And on 2nd and 10 now. Now a former Tar Heel, Giovanni Bernard. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Back deep for the Panthers, Ted Ginn. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. On 1st and 10, Newton. Flush to his right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, Newton again. And this is incomplete. The intended target that time was Jonathan Stewart. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
On 1st down, it's Newton. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Now a first carry for Jonathan Stewart. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Have they come up with a nickname for just Jonathan Stewart? Remember when it was double trouble when he's running with D'Angelo Williams in Carolina? But boy, what a year he had in 2015.
Yeah, it was just 11 yards shy of 1,000, so close, but kind of stepped out of that shadow, didn't he?
Certainly did, and gave the Panthers a real identity running the ball.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Here's Jones. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now you got to go out.
Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
To throw is Newton. That is caught at the 7-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed, I mean, the flat-out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation...
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Second down following the run.
And there's the pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
Underneath, this is Bernard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Passing, it's Dalton. And a right side completion here by LaFell. And he is down deep into Carolina territory. That one goes for 34 yards. And the Bengals are going to have a first down. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this. But run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2. This will be Dalton again. Pass incomplete. Brandon Tate was the intended receiver. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
He's going to get this one out to his fullback. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, they opted not to run it. They completed the pass on 3rd and 2, but they lost yardage to bring up 4.
Well, give credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They snuffed out the play. But it does bring into question, 1, the play call, because they didn't run the ball there. They could have run it. And 2, just not getting it. That's got to be deflating for them.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in. Right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Newton. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Newton gives off to Stewart. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Greg Olsen was the intended target, and it'll be third down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football.
Funchess is free. Touchdown, Carolina. Devin Funchess, 56 yards. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense. A penalty is declined.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now Dalton. That is incomplete. Brandon LaFell, his intended target, and that'll make it 2nd and 10.
I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they were able to react and knock the ball away.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Thomas Davis. And his guys are going to, with my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They take over 1st and 10 following the interception. Carolina getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On 1st down, Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And he's brought down. 10 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be 1st down, Panthers. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go for a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now Newton on 1st down. Going for it all. And that'll be caught. Panthers touchdown. It's Benjamin with a grab. Kelvin Benjamin, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. They get 31 yards that time. And that'll be good enough for a Cincinnati first. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Now a toss play to Bernard. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Giovanni Bernard, nothing but green grass. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Giovanni Bernard, 29 yards. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown.
Well, partner.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball. There he goes, right side. He's at the 50. The 30. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. Hawker out now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now
he's got a man complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. 30 yards on the pickup there. And that leads to a Carolina first down. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. His throw incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
On second down, they run with Stewart. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. 3rd down and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Ray Maualuga. And he brings it back to right around the 20. 26-yard line. We get a look at the Carolina defense as they work their way into position. And in a tight ball game like this, the defense looking for a stop. You kind of, if whether you're the offense or the defense, you don't want to be the one to screw this thing up.
No, not at all. And right now, you've got to figure that the offense is thinking to themselves, if you just get us the ball, we'll make things happen for you. Just help us out a little bit. And that's what the defense has to have in mind as they trot out here for this series.
Yeah, right now, the offense on the sideline. Can the defense do it? A give to the fullback on the dive. They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with third and still 9 to go.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play, he did. So you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong. Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on third down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Thank you. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Stewart is the lone setback. Newton now to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down. So now off goes Newton, and on comes the kicker, Graham Gano. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board. But the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if. While the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know
down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Brandon LaFell, 55 yards. And the Bengals are a 2-point conversion away from tying this football game. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And this time he gets it to go as it is up and good. After the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And all the way down to the 36-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
We got three, fellas. We got three. You're set. 780.
Now Stewart on first down. And he'll be taken down at the 34. And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. A beautiful fake. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Newton turns and hands to Stewart. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
They come out here in the eye. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
And that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They'll try the air now with Newton. And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. Call it a 3-yard gain. And just like that, it's third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Newton. And this is going to be incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Jones on the return. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bengals take possession. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
Green with a catch left side. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up fourth. On is Mike Nugent for the Bengal field goal try. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. Penalty marker is down here, and this one is right down the middle. But there is a penalty marker down. They might be forced to try this one again.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense. A penalty is declined.
Back out Nugent now after the field goal as he'll send it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football.
They've got his man complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. They give him 27 yards that time. And it'll be a Carolina first. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down? And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Touchdown, Carolina! Devin Funchess, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers are once again going to retake the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even insult the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. On the return, it's Brandon Tate. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. The 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Their dangerous wide receiver. An even 90 yards. And the Bengals are once again going to retake the lead. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Now, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. It looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On the give, this is their fullback. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Ginn. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers.
And that's what friends are for.
Right? As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for. Later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
On 1st and 10, Newton. Caught left side by Funchess. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And that leads to a Carolina 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Newton on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now he's going to throw deep. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bengals getting set to go. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Andy Dalton over the middle, complete to Tate. And he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And over the middle, it's LaFell. And he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
And get some space. Now a carry for Bernard. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Second down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. That is caught at the 7. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Their big-bodied receiver, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
And after the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, the spin. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Here we go with 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And he's brought down 15 yards through the air and a first down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend there?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Carlos Dunlap in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And the tight end Olsen, right side. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players.